Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports. Here myself, Charlie. I'm on for the video stats. Please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Now, Saturday sees the start of the T20 World Cup. Now, I've said on the channel already my thoughts on the build-up to it, with the boycott, with the treatment of Bangladesh, with everything else that's been going on. I've said I think it's shambolic. I still think the lead-up to it is shambolic. However, I think now we'd like to move on and talk about the cricket. Just quickly before I do move on and talk about it, I have got to mention about the whole Pakistan and India thing, because even now we're getting into this. They're boycotting the game with India. What does that mean for the tournament? What's that say? You know, the game at the final, if Pakistan make it, and there's a chance they could, let's face it, they will then play in Colombo. There's a lot going on there, and I think this hopefully highlights the issues that cricket is having at the moment with the ICC, with potentially the treatment of other nations in comparison to a certain one nation. I don't know. I'm not here to get too political about that. Another thing I will say before I start as well is I do think these T20 World Cups are becoming maybe too frequent. It doesn't feel that long ago since the last one. It wasn't. It was less than 2 years. Do we really need another one? I'm not entirely sure. I just think you can have too much of a good thing. And as great as international T20 cricket is, I don't know if we need one every 2 years. Flip side of that coin is, I will praise the ICC because I do love the fact that they are getting more associate nations in. And it's stories like Italy at this tournament that are, for me, one of the biggest in the whole thing. With where they are, cricket in Italy, cricket on the European continent. It's great to see another continental nation at this competition. I'm just going to go through the groups because they've got the groups and the Super 8s. I'm not going to do final predictions yet. I mean, I might put my winner out there, but just going to say now, this is the prediction for my groups, and who knows what could happen. Group A is, of course, India and Pakistan. We've spoken already about Pakistan won't play India. I would say that's them sacrificing the top spot. I mean, you never know, but I just think it's an interesting move from them, because that does essentially, I think, make them runners-up in a group that also contains the Netherlands, the USA and Namibia. Should be pointed out, of course, Namibia now seasoned, I think, as are the Netherlands and the USA, of course, has caused an upset at the last World Cup, beating Pakistan. They'll renew that rivalry with them, so that'll be very interesting to see. I would love to see US cricket keep rising up. You know, they've got Major League Cricket now. That's a massive move. It would be great to see them perform admirably at this tournament. They're a big South Asian population. They're trying to crack into it. For India, I think it's important to say that this is quite a new-look India. There's a lot of big names that have gone in recent year. And yes, while there's still the likes of Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah, there is also new names, and it's a big ask, I think, for Abhishek Sharma to be the skipper. It's a huge ask for him. Like I say, there is still names there that you would rely on, the bowlers especially, and you'd be a brave man to bet against India at home in general. But I do think there's pressure on this team. There's pressure on the coaching staff and with Gautam Gambhir. And I do think there is, with that added element of pressure at a home nation, you know, cricket in India is like football in Brazil or rugby union in New Zealand. It's a national sport. It's a national obsession. And, you know, perhaps I don't want to put my head on it or my neck on it. I do think they are perhaps lucky they didn't play Pakistan, because Pakistan, for me, have got a chance this tournament. I know we've seen, for example, Baba Azam's struggles recently in the BBL, but their bowling attack's phenomenal. And Shaheen Shah Afridi, for me, is one of the best death bowlers in the world. And he is absolutely phenomenal, like I say, with that ball. And on them pitches, I fully expect him. Should point out as well, talking of the ball, the controversy around Usman Tariq. What is going to happen there? That will be interesting to keep an eye on. You know, the guy was born with a double elbow. He can't do a great deal about it, but there is accusations of chucking, and I can see where that comes from. There is a chucking motion, but biologically the guy can't change it. So really it's a case of, what do? You could end up looking discriminatory, and that's the difficult part I think the ICC have got in this, because his action's so hard to get a hold of. Cameron Green, of course, was complaining about it on Saturday, I think it was. Like I said, the USA, it would be good to see them do well. Namibia, they've got a bowler for them, Ruben Trumpelman, who is a left armour. I remember him from, I think it was the last tournament or the tournament before, but I really liked him at that tournament. I'm really interested to see how he does as well. And the Netherlands, they're pretty seasoned at this. I, as an England fan, remember them in 2008, causing that upset, Ryan Ted Descartes, Nanez. None of those names, but the lots of Scott Edwards will skipper his side into the tournament. They are regulars now, I think, at this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Group B, I think it's fair to say Group B is probably the easiest of the groups. Now, Australia, they've got a few injuries. Pat Cummins won't be playing. Zampa, there's talk of him. Is he carrying a knock? Is he carrying a hamstring injury? It'd be interesting to see what happens there with Mitchell Marsh, skipper in the side. Listen, the thing is with the Aussies, they always seem to find a way. But it'll be intriguing to see how they look. I think they will cruise through this group stage because the group is reasonably weak. Sri Lanka are the next best. They've pushed England recently in a T20 series, but have unfortunately come up, or unfortunately for them, I should say, not for me, come up short. But they are the co-hosts, so you'd expect them to get through. Ireland, I've got to say, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Ireland. Maybe it's 2011 or what they did to England, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for them. They've got the likes of Josh Little in their bowl attack and others who they will be relying on. He's a guy who's been knocking about in franchise cricket and learning his trade. So it's very interesting to see what he can do with the ball. They'll be probably relying on him to do well, help them out in that case. There is also Zimbabwe. It's good to see them at a major tournament. Of course, formerly one of the, I think, the fall of Zimbabwe is something that needs to be discussed another time. And in that group as well, sneaking around, is Oman. It's always good to see another Asian nation, especially Middle Eastern nations, with, again, their big South Asian populations coming back. Group C, again, with Bangladesh's pullout, which I've done videos on. I'm not going to talk about that here. It does make the path, I think, quite easy for England. I'm not going to lie. Now, as an England fan who has recently been very, very critical of the ECB and of England and of Harry Brook, it's hard for me to say this, but I do think we will get to the semis at least, because I do just think we are very good at T20 cricket. It could go wrong. It's more than capable of going wrong, but I think we've shown in this recent series in Sri Lanka, we are cut out for white ball cricket. White ball cricket's our speciality now. It's red ball where we're struggling. Brooks seems to be hitting form. Bethel seems to be hitting form as well. I'm interested to see how Rayyan Ahmed does. I'm hoping he has a fantastic tournament. I think he could be a really, really valuable asset to England white ball teams in years to come. He's a phenomenal player. Also in England's group, before we talk about the Windies, who they're going to be one to keep an eye on. They've got a strong enough squad, the Windies, to push England and potentially do better than what's expected. But with the Windies, they're a real Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes you look at them on paper and you go, well, they'll definitely cruise through this group. And then they'll go and lose to someone that they shouldn't lose to. And you'll say, oh, how's that happened? The likes of, obviously, Johnson Charles, Roston Chase, Jason Holder, Shimron Hetmeyer, they all leap off the tongue. They're all good, established international players. You expect them to get through this group. I think Bangladesh pull it out will make it a fair bit easier for them. Not saying they wouldn't have got through anyway, but they will be one of those. It's not the days of Chris Gale and Marlon Samuels anymore. Let's be realistic. But I do think they will get through with England. Their build-up hasn't been ideal, it should be pointed out, the Windies. I think, again, the cricket board there, it's criminal what is happening. Let's be realistic. Also in England's group is one of the stories of the tournament, and that is Italy, making their debut at an ICC international tournament. Now, I know there's those who moan and say, well, half the squad actually, look at JJ Smuts. He's played for another nation, actually. So what? If that strengthens associate cricket, then so be it. JJ Smuts is a former Protea, we know it. Wayne Madson's the skipper. He's been a real advocate of Italian cricket. It's great to see him finally get his moment with this team on the international stage. No Emilio Gay, that's a big miss for them. Is that with a view to potentially England in the future? It looks like it could be that way, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Also in England's group is Nepal. They're not to be written off, because they have players playing franchise cricket, and on the subcontinent, those pitches are going to suit their spin attack. And Scotland, who are turning up without a kit, without a sponsor, who else knows what else they haven't got. Of course, they've only been accepted because of Bangladesh's late pullout. It'd be very interesting. I do it again as a Brit. I do like to see Scottish cricket do well. The squad is many familiar names. County cricket, some of them. For example, Wheel and Watt and Curry, all names that will be familiar to fans of county cricket. It's good to see them back, and it's sneaking in, maybe at the expense of Jersey, but who knows. Lastly is Group D, and I think Group D is the group of death. Now, I'm excited about this South Africa batting lineup. Ryan Rickleton and Tristan Stubbs have both actually been late call-ups, but they both batted superbly recently in the SAT20. That, with the experience they've got as well, is for me a real potential. I know South Africa historically will find a way to lose at an international tournament, but I fancy them. I do fancy them to do well in this tournament. I really do. But they have got a really tough group. Afghanistan, what can be said that always hasn't been said? They've got probably the best spinner in the world, Rashid Khan, one of the best T20 players in the world. Mujeeb Rahman as well. They've got batsmen who are going to be confident, batsmen who are playing franchise cricket regularly. And on the subcontinent, that is going to favour their spinners. And then, to top it off, you throw in New Zealand, who are always safe bets at a tournament to get through the group stages. They've just done fantastically against India in the ODI series. So they're going to be looking at it and going, do you know, we fancy this. One of the things as well with New Zealand, I always think it's important to point out, is they've never got the names that leap off the tongue. They've never got the superstars. But what they are is a consistently good side in all three aspects of the game. And that is usually what sees them through these tournaments. They did lose to Afghanistan at the last T20 World Cup. It should be remembered. But those games, I think, are going to be key. I really hope the weather doesn't affect that group, because it can scupper chances. It can scupper anyone's chances. But you'd hope with the subcontinent it doesn't quite factor into that. As always, I'm not really done a prediction there. Overall, I think winners. Do you know what? I'm gonna stick my neck on line. I think South Africa could win it. I think it'll be a final four of India, South Africa, Pakistan. I think that'll be the final four. I think Australia might struggle with the injuries. I think New Zealand, don't know, it's tough. It's a tough call. It's a really competitive tour, which is all you can ask for. But there's always a surprise package as well. And I look forward to that. I hope there's some upsets as well, because that's what we want the associates to do. We want them to, I don't want to say justify why they're there, but we do want them to make an impact. It's always good to see. You want cricket to grow. So I am really looking forward to getting my teeth into it. The sporting year is starting to heat up. I'm excited. As always, guys, let us know what you think. Who could be upsets? Who are players to look out for? Please let us know what you think. Please like, comment and subscribe. And anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. I've been Charlie. Have a great day.